The time has come, and I'm finally able to get to the wool that I had sheared off of Louie this spring. It was his first official shearing, and my regular shearer is Luke Farmer. He's pretty amazing. So I had no idea I would get this amount of wool off of Louie. He had been growing it since birth a year ago in May, and there were sections 12 and 13 inches long. Louie is part Corriedale and Valais blacknose sheep. It's a perfect little cross, I think, for massive wool production. Corriedales are known for their beautiful wool and long wool, and so is the Valais blacknose. So I've mixed the two and come up with what I call Corvallis, which is interesting because I also used to live in a city named Corvallis in Oregon when I was a young girl. Lots of fun there, lots of rain. So I got a large canvas sheet and laid it out on the ground. I don't have room in my house to be able to bring in wool and wash it in big barrels or anything like that. So it's best if I make sure that I can skirt the wool and somewhat clean it out and separate it into a larger crate so that during the winter when I have extra time and spare time, I can take out small batches, wash it in the ice cream buckets that I have, and I'm able to process the wool in smaller batches rather than in great big large batches. So I make sure that I'm taking any soiled pieces out and kind of doing an extra good skirting job as far as that goes. I take out the small bundles and I wrap them in a little bit of string just to keep them separated and kind of ready to go. However, I eventually do run out of the white cotton string, so then I just take a little bit larger batches. Again, make sure any soiled, icky parts are off and set them in there on top. And even after skirting and taking out the parts that have excessive VM in them or soiled parts, I still have an entire full crate of beautiful, luscious baby lamb wool. This is the best wool that he'll ever provide, so I hear. The lamb's wool is always the best. And again, I had pieces that were 12 and 13 inches long, which is just crazy. I also had my lamb sheared again in July, thinking it would help them stay a little bit cooler because it's been so hot. And in a 3.5 month period, Louie had already grown another 4-inch fleece. And I was just amazed. I couldn't believe it. I am a big believer in the unicorn scour power, and I always use that. And I always use and follow up with the unicorn conditioner. So I squirt just a tiny amount in a tepid temperature, just not very hot at all, just maybe like what you'd give a baby a bath in. And just a little tiny squirt, and then I set the pieces of fleece in there and let it soak for 10 or 15 minutes. In the meantime, I can get my towel ready and get some other things going for the rinse cycle coming up next. Once it's done soaking, I take the ice cream bucket outside and I empty it out there. Wool, as a rule, has lots of lanolin in it, And if I pour that down my sink, it will eventually clog my drains, which we do not want. So I just quickly take it outside, dump it out, lightly squeeze it. You don't want to handle wool too much and get it too felt. And then I take it back in the house, where I will remove it from the bucket, rinse the bucket lightly, and fill it with a cool water and a squirt of the unicorn conditioner. And I will again allow that to soak for approximately 10 to 15 minutes. You can see I'm repeating the process with the second bucket. These buckets are just perfect to do smaller batches, something that I can handle doing in my house because I have a very small home. Okay, once it is done rinsing, I again take it outside and empty it to prevent any lanolin buildup in my drains. And repeat exactly what I did there after washing. And then I take it in the house, lay it out on the towel, and just kind of gently move the wool around a little bit to get a single layer of it, so to speak. Fold the towel over and roll it up really tight. That squeezes the water out of the wool without disturbing all of the fibers in the wool or causing it to felt or become frizzed or whatever. And then I lift up the wool, and you can use anything. Right here I'm using an egg carton. You can set it on top of an egg carton. You could also use a cookie sheet or an old window screen or door screen. You can use just about anything that will allow you to get some airflow to dry your wool. Like always, it's the little things that make life great. If you enjoyed this video, leave me a thumbs up and please share it with everyone you know. Have a great day.